Learn debugging. It will bite you so much if you can't properly debug. You can be the best coder, but in the end, when your boss asks you, oh, why did our service crash, and you can't like just attach a debugger and be like, just start a debugger, rerun it. Debuggers nowadays have the common Python developer and also the common Java developer to fix their problems far faster, and especially modern debuggers built into PyCharm and VS Code allow you to visually inspect the values of the fields, the values of the variables, and even modify the variables on the fly so you can evaluate your code on the fly. And that helps you with debugging, but also it helps you with inspecting your code and getting to know a code base that you haven't known before better. So it's a really good tool to get around your code. Python is really easy because in Python we have the superpower of using eval, and eval allows us essentially to execute every code that we want in some certain context with global and local variables. And this allows us to easily create things like conditional breakpoints. I started in 2022 working at my current employer, SAP, and I started in the Java team there working on the JVM. So then I had the idea of, hey, we have in Java this problem that conditional breakpoints are, for example, pretty slow when you debug remotely. And so I thought maybe I could fix this, and then worked like a few months on trying to fix it. It didn't work out in the end, sadly, but it was an interesting research project. And it's on the internet if you want to look for it, and it was nice. But then I thought, hey, I did some research in this field, and so I looked into other language runtimes to understand how they work, and then started giving talks because I felt that debugging is a thing that everyone uses but nobody really understands. And so I'm here. What the debugger does, so that the debugger runs in the same interpreter as your code, which is really important to know. So all the changes that you can do because it's essentially running. You're essentially running the code in the same frames. For example, when you're using a watch and you're evaluating something, then it's actually executed at the point in your program as if it would be a part of your program, and that can lead to interesting bugs. For example, if you throw an exception and do other things. So I think it's really important as a debugger, as someone who debugs, so kind of a debugger, to know how a debugger works internally, just because so you know when something goes wrong, you know how it kind of works. And that was the idea behind my talk, to give people like the look behind the curtain, so that they don't think, oh, it's just a magic tool that only like weirdos program in their attic, these nerdy hackers, but it's actually a tool that you can do yourself to understand it better. In October, there was this new update with Python 3.12, where we essentially got a new monitoring and debugging API, which allows us to more efficiently create debuggers. And this is really, really important because with this we can write debuggers that have an overhead in the single percent area. I think with AI, which will probably get important, we probably get more code completions for conditional breakpoints, more descriptive ways to write conditional breakpoints. But hopefully we also get tools that allow us to see an error and then automatically place the breakpoint at the locations where this error might be caused. But I think debugging is such a personal affair because it's so human. We as humans, we can recognize patterns. And AI is good at it, but not as good as humans currently. So I think debugging is still a place where I don't see that much AI currently coming. I think more AI is coming in the way of programming. So I think get to be a debugger. That's, for now, it saves your job. I think the combination of writing blog posts and then giving talks, sharing the knowledge is really great, because most people work in their silos, and that's not great because we want to share knowledge. We want to share knowledge to create our community, to foster them. And so also go to meetups just to go one step further.